All I've been hearing the last couple months is,
we're in a urgent time.
There's too much at stake to sit on the sidelines.
This is the most important election in our lifetime.
The most important election of our lifetime.
The midterms matter.
Every single election is portrayed as the most important election of all time. I will say for the 2018 midterm elections, it really is the most important election of all time.
So I'm going to break down real quick why I don't give a flying about the midterms. Let's start with who's incessantly promoting these elections.
I'm obsessed with elections.
The only question this year is whether enough people will vote anyway.
Early voting is underway.
This November election is more important than any midterm in our lifetime.
Well, I'm absolutely not claiming and never would claim that all these entities are outright fake news. They do have a pretty extensive documented track record of reporting absolutely useless information that has no effect on your life, refusing to adequately inform you about things that actually do matter, working directly with politicians and government to perpetuate establishment narratives, and continually fear-mongering you into supporting more and more government power. Speaking of that government, is it really surprising that politicians who vie for control over it are also pushing you to vote? This ritual has zero sway on the exact same government and generation after generation of politicians that have racked up a $20 trillion debt, an empire spanning multiple continents and dozens of countries, and a long list of war crimes, none of which you get to vote on. Even if you could vote on these issues, you, the average voter, don't seem to care much about them, despite how big of an effect they have on your life and how much suffering they cause around the world. We just have to elect the right people, you might argue. That's exactly what we've always tried to do with voting. We ended up here because of the endless cycle of trying to elect the right people. Now let's talk about the people and organizations who are not just prodding you to vote in the election, but also allegedly safeguarding your sacred freedom ritual. We've got the FBI, known for a wide range of unethical, deceitful, corrupt behavior. We've got the CIA, which is known for meddling in elections and overthrowing democratically elected leaders. Best of all, and most familiar to you, we've got the likes of Twitter and Facebook. They've partnered with government-linked organizations that claim to be very concerned with your democracy. Organizations run by individuals responsible for egregious war crimes who have held the highest positions of power, and you guessed it, whose appointment to power you never got to vote on. The people you elected did. Do you feel represented? After partnering with these organizations, Twitter and Facebook, just weeks before the election, silenced legitimate pages expressing dissenting points of view on topics that, once again, you're not allowed to vote on. I was included in that great purge of October 11th, as was the news organization I work for, and many others who have been relentless in their criticism of the government, its policies and violence, and the shortcomings of democracy and mob rule. The thing you keep insisting will set us free. You can vote all you want, but no matter who wins, the ruling class runs the show, from those in power to those buying them off and influencing their policies, including foreign governments, and those peddling their narratives, and they don't care who you pick as puppets. So yeah, sorry not sorry, I don't care about your election. Because as concerned as I may be for this country and all the people in it, including you, I've also lost all patience for the tired belief that everything will be fixed if you just put your leaders in power. All this does is swing the pendulum back and forth, left to right, and back again, while the whole thing burns, racks up debt that will enslave us all, our children and our grandchildren, and kills innocent people, inspiring further terror attacks and thus further crackdowns on our freedom. I'm not trying to paint a hopeless picture here, to the contrary, because I see all the amazing ways people come together without government to take care of each other, provide for each other, and come up with solutions. And if you devoted your time and energy to that year-round instead of voting once every couple of years and caring about the issues your TV told you to, and maybe if you stopped funding the criminal enterprise that keeps screwing us all over and gave your funds directly to people who need it on a voluntary basis, we might actually start to see some positive changes. So yeah, I still don't care about your election and your stickers and your hashtags and selfies and shame campaigns and your blind insistence on engaging in the exact same ritual that got us where we are. I'll pass. Peace. Please try it.